I'll give you one thought, and that's tell stories.
Tell stories.
People relate to and remember things when the message is embodied in a story. And the great communicators, the great leaders who communicate well are great at telling stories to get the message across. It's one thing to put up a slide, a PowerPoint slide with bullet points. It's another to embody what's being said on that slide in a story that people can relate to. So I think that's the key to sharing knowledge. You know, most wisdom comes across as a kind of a story. I think, you know, even these one-liners that I described to you before. Here's another one that I wanted to share. Tact is the ability to describe others as they see themselves. Tact is the ability to describe others as they see themselves. And it's been said that Abraham Lincoln said that. That's a story in itself. That phrase tells a story. You can picture somebody talking to someone else in a way in which they're making that person feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
But maybe sharing a hard message at the same time.
In a moment where you're not still full of, anger with someone or disappointed, when you release the emotional state to say, okay, what is this teaching me? What can I take away from this that will help me improve in the future? Just ask those two questions. Wisdom is to be able to reflect on our experiences and understand what it is that I need to learn from that and bring out into my life. I remember reading a quote, I forget who it was from, but said, it was John Dewey, who was an educational reformer in the early 1900s. And he said, we don't learn from experiencing things in the moment. We learn from reflecting on the experience. In the moment that I'm scared, that I'm angry, that things are not going well, I may not recognize why I'm in that moment. It's the reflection of, that's what I learned from that, and to take that in and remember the lesson that I was offered to in that moment that I can then use for others, and that's wisdom. To let go of everyone else telling me what to do and to follow the path of my own fulfillment and joy. It felt selfish, but actually it was very generous of me to do that so I could have good energy with the people I live with. So it was a great experience, but we had to look at all the things in our environment that could take away our energy, in our relationships, and some of the people we may need to let go because they were very negative.
Ultimately, wisdom is an affirmation of you doing what you were doing, or the way you've approached something. In other words, if you are able to remove judgment, personal judgment, bias, prejudice, then you are demonstrating wisdom. Because bias and prejudice and judging ends communication. It ends communication. And so the wisdom there is stop it. Don't do this any longer. Okay? And of course, wisdom usually refers to something that is very hard to do. It is very hard to stop judging. It is very hard to not dismiss somebody.
I think we often have an ideal of what we wish people would be. And especially if you're an empath, it's like you see the healed version of another person. And it's just really respectful to not pay so much attention to what people actually say, how are they actually behaving and doing and acting and choosing, and accept that, and then go back to that side of your fence and make your own decisions. So based on how this person is communicating and acting, how do I truly feel? Like, is this, and it's one step at the time, replying to this message, is that a yes or a no to me? Or even like replying to this section in this message, is that a yes or a no to me? And what we answer to will grow. But many of us are on social media, right? So we have this flow of messages and information just coming at us, and the algorithms work that way. Then even if things are coming our way that are not helpful, we don't agree, that's not healthy, if I respond to that message, if I engage, the algorithm is going to show that message to me even more. So I get to pay attention. It's the exact same thing in communication, that what I pay attention to and what I engage with will grow. And this is really for our benefit, that I can choose. I can make the choice of, what do I want to grow in my life? Change is about focusing on the new. I choose what I want to claim and what I want to grow.
Catching yourself when you are reacting. And it doesn't happen overnight. But your brain is a muscle, treated like a muscle. And it's being fed all the information, and your body and your muscles create memory. And, from anyone that, does martial arts, they know that there's muscle memory. So over your lifetime, no matter what age you are, your body is collecting all this. So what you need to do is not learn, you need to unlearn. So you need to unlearn all the things that would have triggered you to react. And you need to practice and catch yourself. And instead of reacting, just go, hang on, I'm going to respond. And you won't get it right all the time. That's life. Life is a journey. Life is not meant to be all wonderful. Life is meant to be an experience. But it's what you do with that experience to see where you can improve your life and how things can be better. And would you rather react and run down the road screaming and shouting like a lunatic? Would you like to walk down the road with ease, going, I've got this and everything is okay? And doing that, you're taking that fear out of your mind. And it's like anxiety. Anxiety is in the body. It's not in the mind. So you need to move the body to get the away from anxiety. But you also need to, if something triggers you, example, if you have a negative, something happens to you, right? This is for the audience. If something happens to you, where do you see it? So do you see it is it a voice in your head that's going, this is really bad, oh my God, I don't know what to do. It's a voice in your head. It's up around here somewhere. And you have to kind of go, okay, that voice is screaming. Why don't I make that voice softer? And make it softer and softer and softer so it gets like a whisper that I can hardly hear it. and then grabbing it and not pulling it down to your heart and trying to see how would that feel if I can hardly hear that feeling, but bring a feeling that is opposite to it into my heart and let myself live by a feeling. So we need to, for wisdom, it's not about voice in your head. It's about going with your feelings. And if someone practices that mindfully every day, things just, micro, they'll get better and better and better and better. And like for me, I'm in my mid-50s. And I'm often asked, how do I feel? Or what is my life like? I'm content.
The eulogy exercise is you sit down and you try to imagine yourself at your own funeral, years and years ahead. Remember, let's just say 20 years old. I'm trying to think, when I'm 80 or 90, what would my family say at my funeral? What would my friends say at my funeral? And then what would people from my community say at my funeral? And I sat down and really tried to think that as if I was there. I mean, if you take this seriously, you cry, it's emotionally gripping. And I thought about it, and it's the same one for everybody. They don't talk about your house or your car or your job. They talk about who you helped, how much you loved people, how much they loved you, what you did to support your community, what you did to support and help and love your family. So I looked at it then and said, all right, those are the things I need to spend my life focused on. I need to focus on being a person that's honest, telling the truth, being honesty, health, love, laughter, learning, contribution. Health was, I got real sick for a while, gained a lot of weight. I've lost quite a bit of weight. Health became honesty, health, love. I want to be a loving person that treats people with dignity and respect and genuine care and concern. Honesty, health, love, laughter. Want to have fun. Got to have a happy life. And then honesty, health, love, laughter, learning. I want to dedicate myself to constantly learning and growing and improving. And the last one is contribution, which is I want to take all those first things and give to other people, to help other people. So the way you do that is to sit down and think about, what are the things in my life that are absolutely the most important? Some people would have family or faith or, different things on their list. That's great. But it's the stuff that you say, this is what I have to live. This is who I have to be. And once you're clear about that, everything else falls into place. It's very simple. Even the most difficult decisions become very easy because you just look and say, if this is what I value, does this match what I value?